Thank you, Father, for death, where that door in this meat suit ends and get to be free of the sin in the vessel, the nature to sin of this, again, of this meat suit, this nature to just want to continue to give in to the worldly things and not be separated. And I am guilty of it myself. I find myself very disappointed with my diet and how I don't treat my temple very well, that I eat a very unorganic diet, and that's not good. So I'm going to try to change that. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate preparedness. Again, he said he was going to leave this meat suit where he did, and he promised he'd make a covenant, he'd return, and we'd take us to where his father's house was at, and his house is within inside us from above daily, and that's without flesh. So afterlife insurance it's what it's about. After this life, this is preparedness. It's about he's going to prepare a place. He'll come back. There'll be one judgment at one time. All will be raised from the foundation of the world. The seventh shofar trump will sound, the final trump. And then there'll be a wedding. And there'll be a reverse gospel where those who didn't walk and follow in the commandments, that didn't love Father, will go back to the dirt where their flesh vessel that was dust or ashes was raised. It won't be their literal, it'll be the judgments for their walk on this rock. Whether it doesn't matter about the timeline is irrelevant. I don't think that's hidden by these elite, that they're the masters of this timeline, that they've captured these people's attention by their eyes and idolism and television, and have them believing in gods in the sky and heavens in the sky. And so you know how I am about that. But my family wants me to go to college because I'm not working at the moment. We both know things are heating up. So what do you suggest? Trade school. Don't go to college. Trade school is definitely something better than a college education. Is not a guarantee. There's more people standing in the unemployment line with college degrees than there people are not. So, and actually you have to be working to be even considered as unemployed. So I don't want to put it, but I would suggest become self-sufficient. 100% I would focus on being self-sufficient. That's what I would focus on, because that is where it's at. Find a small piece of land and do it yourself. You don't need all these things of this world. You need a place to rest your head. You need food. You need a meat source. You need a vegetable source, and you need a water source, and heat and light. These things are your basics. And if you can obtain, and you don't need to keep up with the Joneses, you're welcome to come here. There's a place for you here. If you come here, there's everything you need be here. Trying to eventually talk with Kevin, and we're going to find the right people to come here. But, the things of this world are, again, I'm appalled at my diet. I need to start eating better. And I know that it's partly because of just Father's, works the way he works in my life. He writes these things. So, but having Kevin here has made me reopen the list of 50 million things that weren't done, from when I just didn't want to build up out here when I was here by my self, because food, you need to think about eating a good organic diet. I don't know what you need. You need food. You need to find a good supply of food and be growing your own. That's what you need, Lion. You need a good source of meat, organic meat. You need a good source of vegetables is what you need, and you need a good source of heat. You need that right now. A continual way to keep yourself warm. It's getting colder and colder. You know, this is part of the cycle that we're in. So it's the sun is the driver of what's going on here. It's part of this magnetic excursion that we've been in since the 1800s. So this is part of the cycle of the grand cycle that we're in of the larger, again, yuga cycles, but people go by this other celestial 12-month calendar, and that's blasphemy. There's not 12 months in a year, and the New Year's doesn't start in the middle of the winter. But anyways, none of that matters. Time's irrelevant. Time's a joke. You should be doing other things with your time, like how do I eat good food? How do I not worry about bills? How do I get my bills to where I don't have any bills? Zero bills. I have zero cost of living. That's what you should be doing, Lion. Now, that's a good thing to do. I would definitely suggest investing in food and a water filter. Get one of these water filters. Get one of these Sawyer minis. Well, there you go. Now's the time. Don't get any bills. Don't make any bills if you can help it. Find a place where you can become self-sufficient. And you need to not worry about keeping up with the Joneses. So self-sufficiency is narrow is the way, set apart, be in the world, but be not of it. So if you're in the city, you're not in. I don't agree with the city's line, and I know you probably because you're young. I hear you. You don't need it. You don't need cash, but you do need cash to have something. You have to have something. I understand. Takes money to make money. I understand that 100%. I'm a father makes me who I am because I don't have any zero income coming in. No income from the military, no retirement, no social security, no nothing. I am a self-made by the calluses on my hand and the brain skull that I build and fix and trade and barter. I'm a horse trader. So I told Kevin, let's get back to work. Let's get this farm back up here and going. Come be a farmer, Lion. Come be a farmer. Want to be a farmer? Want to learn how to farm? There you go. Come farm down here. I know you're up north. It don't matter. It's all going to be America. It's all going to be Chimerica soon anyway. So find your own food source, brothers, sisters. Cut off this big supply chain. Become your own food supply if you can. Father sent Shiloh, and he said he's going to prepare a place for us where his father's house is at and come back and receive us. And he got done preparing yet. So he makes Noah look like a drop in the hat, a blink. And Noah didn't listen to the world. He was set apart. He listened to that still voice inside his head. I hope you're listening to that still voice inside your head that's telling you to do something, because now's the time and not in a rush. You know, this is just unreal what we are witnessing, you know. So, uh-oh, let's take a spill there, lady. So, interesting. So anyways, brothers and sisters, this is the time. There's, you know, I don't know what people, again, the wait is there's no time to wait. Every day that goes by, you're not, and I'm not. I'm just saying every day is going to get more. They're printing more money. They're putting more of their inflation creation machine. The Fed keeps printing more, which is not Fed. They're the central banksters keep printing more inflation, which makes things more expensive. And then Chump says he's going to sit there and yeah, that's probably your best thing to do. But you don't need any of that. You don't need to be doing any of that. You don't need to go to school. Uh, you don't need to go to school, Lion. That you've been tricked. You need to become a farmer. You need to become self-sufficient. You need to learn how to budget your time wisely and not try to keep up with the Joneses. Again, you need to get your cost of living to zero, and you already have that. So find a place, get your skill set up is what I would do. I mean, you could just stay with your parents for now and keep getting your skill set up, but you're going to have to do that eventually out of some city. I mean, I don't know what you want to go to school for, but the future is going to be going back to the old ways. Your skill set, because everything can be taken from you. You could have everything in the world, but if you can't tell north, south, east, and west, if you can't set a simple fall trap, skin a buck without turning it into hamburger and cutting the piss sack and ruining half the meat, you need to have a skill set. That's what you need to focus on. Hell with a job, hell with school, hell with all that. Don't matter now to nothing. They don't matter when the lights go out, is it? And that's going to happen soon. I'm not trying to be sensational. Are you ready for lights out? Are you ready for if the lights don't come back on for a week or two or whatever, it's going to happen sooner or later. The sun will do it, or there'll be some nefarious, outside source or something. They just declared a national emergency. So if you understand, you went back and watched the videos that I put out, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years, I don't know what it is. Somebody get the date on that. I told you what happens when they put one of these national emergencies. What happens? So, the pretendant steps down. You're going to get cut off. I'm telling you, and I ain't trying to go there. I'm not making predictions. Real ID, unless you don't have real ID, you're not going to travel. How about that? The captain's going to put on the fasten seatbelt signs, Mr. Chump, and restrict the travel, because going to be looking for these migrants soon, very soon, brothers and sisters. You don't see what's happening, but they've been setting this up. You've been set up for decades now. It's all come to this time and point in time where they're going to release they already did their national emergency against the Chinese problem with the incoming, where we're the biggest seller of all these. Mr. Chump had his number one booster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and the greatest jab ever. So I'm not falling for it. I'm telling you, where preparedness is the way that you I agree with you 100%, but my family wants me to go to college trade school. I don't mind farming now. Well, whatever, your family's an idiot. Your family's going to go off a cliff, and the whole world's going to go off a cliff, Lion, and you do what you feel like. Don't you let me sway you, or don't let anybody sway. Don't even let your family's not your family. Okay, that's your blood, and I understand you're young, but your family is your brothers and sisters in the narrow way. That's your family. That's your father, your mother is your brothers and sisters in Christ. That will be the ones you be with after you die. That's who you, and I appreciate you supping in here, coming in here. I don't know what. Okay, well, yeah, I don't. So, but either way, you have an instinct. Lion, you spent some time here. Right? This ain't your average freaking YouTube channel, is it? So you spend time here, you got the wrench, you've been in here for a minute. You're not just coming in here. We're not spinning our wheels in here. You know what I'm saying? So, the whole world's going to be running off a cliff right now. And that's how this is working right now. If you don't see that, it's okay. You people don't. The whole world is going off a cliff. As far as I can see right now, the whole world is going in the opposite direction. And I'm going in the other direction. And so the whole world's going to tell me I'm crazy right now. And I've been told that since I was young. So that's fine. That doesn't mean anything. I'm rubber your glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Ha ha ha. We'll go old school on it, you know? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. The two stupidest words ever is officer safety. Never heard a song called F the Firefighters, have you? Not well. Hate speech, brothers, sisters, hate speech. That's freaking not two words that should ever, you can't incite violence, but come on, we have a First Amendment. So just have to remind you, because you know I'm a man of many words. So appreciate you coming in here. Hope you actually can sift through the silliness of pastor sometimes, but can find that we don't spin our wheels in here. We're truly trying to make sure that we're preparing our afterlife. The hell with what this world says on what we do. It's been running off a cliff for years, nothing new. Okay, what do you mean? What do you talk about? The Wile E. Coyote is talking with Kevin. Nothing new? Yeah, nothing new. Interesting. Nothing new under the sun. That's absolutely right. Yeah. We just keep, we couldn't service the debt last time. They had to print $1.67 trillion. No, that's never been done before. $33.3 trillion. Can't pay that back. We're going down. We're not off the cliff. We're going down now. We're not the, where it's suspended animation. That's most people. That's that comment, the whole world's going to, no, we're going down now. It's all over. So BRICS nations, yeah. How many was that? It's almost 50% of the world's, superpowers, nuclear power. The actual Shanghai Gold Exchange where they trade physical, not the London Bullion Metal Exchange, paper. Get out of here. Sinking ship. It's going down. So the best thing you can do is not participate in the Titanic and be the vessel, brothers and sisters. Don't let an idiot of the world steer you from having extra oil in your lamp and telling you once again, no, everything's good, everything's awesome, Team America. So Trump's going to make everything better. No, Trump's going to spend more money than any other president, just like he did last time. His buddy Joe and Kamala Allah Akbar couldn't outpace his spending, and he spent more money than his buddy Barry, and he'll do it again. He'll spend more money. And this time he's already done it through the national emergency. So he's going to do sanctions and tariffs and embargoes. And if you know anything about economics, this is going to affect your pocketbook and my pocketbook. So a tomato is going to get really expensive. And what are you going to do when the only way you can get a tomato is delivered by drone or something like that? Because they want to clear the skies to make sure they can send you bull crap through their drone skies. What happened to the drones, Mr. Chump? I thought we were going to hear about the drones the first day. If you guys believe this nonsense, you're going to fall for the whole warp speed, Operation Love Boat. Remember I told you? Fantasy Island, Popeye in the sky, all this. It'll come. One day you'll see. I'm sure it'll come not long after lights out. That's when I'm sure it'll come. Yep. Then you'll get your big, eye in the sky. So... yeah, the DJI geofence. That's what I'm saying. It's all set up. This is all in play. See what I'm saying? Somebody freaking kinetics paying attention. You know what I'm saying? It's an idiocracy. If you're paying attention, you'll see what they're doing. So the best thing you can do, as I said, brothers and sisters, is check out of this system and become your own system. He said he was going to go to where his father's house was at, and he was going to prepare a place. So I suggest you do the same thing, and you find a place where you're not worried about cost of living, and you can get past all that. You've traded your time. You're already behind the 8 ball there. You're going to get slammed. You are. That's just the way they're going to break you. Like, it's a game to them. I know. It's insane what they're doing. He's the one who enacted the whole TikTok thing, man. Remember? And then I told you he's Giannis, guys. He is the January rooster cock chicken egg ritual that you have been played why eggs are at an all-time high. April Fools, brothers and sisters, April Fools, you've been played. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys aren't, but you know what I'm saying? There's yeah, you don't need cash to get a place either. You got it wrong a little bit. You have it kind of wrong a little bit, Lion. You think you need big things and you don't. There are people who come out here. I came out here in a tent, okay, in a tent in this desert with nothing, no, and I cut every road by hand with a shovel. Moved my son into a motorhome, but I slept in a tent, in an Arctic tent. So there's no, and I understand. You use your gut. You're young. You have good instincts because you have a different mind that's not clogged by all my nonsense. Remember, I'm a vet. I got instincts that's hard. I'm like a bird. I don't need to be told to fly south for the winter. I'm like a chipmunk. I don't need to be told. You can tell me I'm nuts, and I'm like, that's right. I'm going to keep putting up those nuts. I'm like a chipmunk. I'm always trying to get a nut. That's me. Like this house is just filled with food all around me. You don't see it, but it's right there. 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 It's everywhere. They have food everywhere you look. So I can't help it to get out, whatever. I just stay. I want to feed the foolish virgins, brothers, sisters. I want to quell violence with food. Seriously, it's just my nature. I can't help it. Father just makes me do these things. I don't have, it's called instinct. He speaks to me, do this. I've always done it. No matter what, I've had it. It doesn't matter. I'm always in that mode. And so it's a lifestyle. You need to be thinking about the winter and the summer and the summer and the winter. That's the mindset. And these people have time as an illusion. That's what I'm trying to tell you, brothers, sisters. Good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I don't like going there to the mart, but hey, whoo, we got this place cooking in here. Yeah, got the fire going. That thing spinning there. That's efficiency there. That works off the heat of the stove. My wood burner. We got this place. I have to go pull this sweater off. I got this place roasting in here. Yeah, you need to have a go bag. Hey, will you do me a favor, Kinetic, and just call it a go bag from now on? A go bag. Yeah, a go bag. So verbiage is important, and you should live at your bug out. You should live there. Yeah, we got this bad boy cooking. I know what it is. I put a piece that had a bunch of pitch on it. It was a corner piece that had a bunch of pitch in it. So, but anyways. So, I'm going to have to crack that door here in a minute. But what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is that like out here, there's a piece of land out here somebody could buy for, like the payment on this other property that I have is $245. It's less than $250. You could collect cans every month on the sides of the roads out here and make that kind of money. There's always work in this little farming community. People come out here and do this, and get tired of the rat race. Now, it's not easy to do, but I've done it, over and over. I moved to Hawaii with my son, went off out in the middle of, in Hawaii, moved off grid and lived on, done all kinds of different, I'm just saying that was one experience. He didn't like volcanoes, so we went and lived on a volcano, so we got to get him over these fears. So, 245. That's crazy. 245 is what the payment is a month for the 20 acres. Is what the payment is monthly. Okay, is what I'm saying, guys. It's affordable out here. You wouldn't even have to hook up and do me here out. There's places out here. I already told you. You've got to find a place where you can go be unrestricted, so to speak, where there's too many places out here that got a grade and a dip and somebody moves in behind some berm and you be quiet and stay to yourself. You don't have the problems that I have. I have the problems I have because I've been up these farmers, what, and these rich people's, what, and up these cops, what, because I don't stand for that. Pastor Apocalypse, Pastor Revelation knows that Christ got lashed and got his beard ripped out of his face and stuck in a crown of thorns because he stood up against the authority. And Father made me a pig. Somebody's worked for this government, been in that law enforcement capacity. So I hold myself to a higher busos knowledge, understanding of this. And so that I can't, Father made me that. I have to stand up to what I know is perversion. That's why I stand so strong in the Constitution. These are rights of the Father that are given to the land. The people of this land have that right. There's a reason why this rock here where we walk was a very unique place. Somebody stand on the right to the people because it's God-given. These are constitutional rights. And so I'm persecuted and prosecuted. And if I spend time in prison or whatever happens to me, you've seen what's happened to me. You've seen on the live streams. They shot my son. They did what they did to me, hit me in the face. I've had still suffering physical problems, but it doesn't ever stop me from doing me. That doesn't, I'm doing it for this community. I do it for the state. I do it for the Constitution. I do it for the country. Father didn't make me become a veteran and, defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and my tour service with an honorable discharge doesn't mean my tour service ends. So any good veteran's going to continue to serve their right of the people because they're ingrained to be a soldier. And I'm a soldier, Father, before all, a soldier of the Most High. Natural rights, organic rights, laws of the land have always been here, brothers and sisters. That's what the Constitution protects. Your organic, natural, God-given, whether you believe in that God or not. God's just a title, but we'll use the term for sake of conversation that these rights are natural, organic rights. I don't need to assert state or national rights, but I have those still because I assert my constitutional rights prior to the corporation. So Connect knows that. So anybody who can live like that, because I talked to Kevin about that. He bought the land next to me, and I'm not having that. I don't want to, nobody's going to tell me what I can or can't do. I'm a veteran and I'll be told not to follow no mandates. That's not a law. I don't go on dates with men, remember? That's not in my, I don't have to do that. Ordinances, he blotted out the handwriting of ordinances in the book of Colossians 2 and 14. So I'm not under, the law was fulfilled, no ordinances. That's not a law. Mandates, laws, codes, ordinances, those are for corporations, brothers, sisters. And that's what this whole game is about that you've been played. It's like a big game of Disneyland or Chuck E. Cheese. And so, anyways, brothers, sisters, this is how this works. And that's how this Constitution works. And I will not, like I said, I will not stand down to some corporation because I'm not corp, I'm not dead. I'm a man of the land and soil, and I have natural, organic living rights. This is a new living will and testament. And although I die daily to self, it's a spiritual death that I die. I still have to take care and look after this vessel, and I will not go down just allowing this Constitution to be trampled on by any one of these, especially Mr. Trump, who just passed all these executive orders, which are not constitutional. They didn't go through the judicial process, through the democratic process, through the House, the Congress, the Senate. judicial, legislative, and executive branch of our governments. These were all by executive orders. These things, everything that has been passed by these administrations are not constitutional. So, I'll figure something out. Yeah, well, there's no, if you come here, there's a place. There's something lying there's here. You won't put you down. You won't be staying in no bushes or anything like that. I'd let you know. So, I talked to Kevin, and like I said, we'll make sure that, you know, it's, if nothing's gonna there. I don't hide nothing. I have nothing to hide. I need people who are serious. You know, this isn't a permanent thing. What is about to happen is not going to be the end of the world, but it's going to get expensive. And actually, I don't think I'd want to be in Canada either. And I'm not saying that you know what I'm saying? I have mad love for, we have quite a few viewers that are from Canada on this channel. But I don't know. Is America better in Canada? Who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. You know, like I said, that's still to the Queen, and this is it's still part of the same thing, whether people realize it or not. Lion, it's the same thing. It's the same thing here. We have given over to the corporation, which is the Queen. Although we don't have it on our coinage like you guys, it's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. This is about, everybody's going to say that about everything. You know what I'm saying? Connect. Yeah, I guess you're not really en route too far for me to him. Huh? America is a lot cheaper than us. And yeah, it's study before that. So, anyways, what's happening is going to take time, though, brothers and sisters. I believe the event that we roll into, you know, it's been 5 years since the bid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's up north. He's up to the north. But you know, it's not going to be easy anywhere, brothers, sisters. This is going to be a you're not going to hide the judgments that are coming from what is about to happen. Now, I don't know if it'd be better if you were inside the United States or outside of the United States at this point. You know, I would suggest that you have, yeah, well, that's why I think it is. There's nowhere you're gonna, from what, you know, from what is happening at this point. It's, well, now look, I don't even know at this point, Lion, at this point. Now watch, look, Trump closed the borders. Trump closed the borders in America. So I don't even know if you can get in here. Now, I know you can get in and out of this country, but I don't think for very much longer. And I don't think Kinetic could be able to come from Arizona without restricted travel, without real ID. This is what they're going to make you do. And if you do, you're going to have to be somehow monitored or something. You're going to have to travel. Everything's going to go real ID because they're going to want to track and get a hold of everybody that's here. And then figure out who's not and who's, see, there's already people self-deporting out of this country, brothers, sisters. It's already starting, whether you understand what is happening here or not. There are people walking straight out of here already. Yeah, like they were coming in here and being flown in here. Yeah. And they're not constitutional, just so you know, but they'll still go by it. 100% Lion. They're not constitutional, but everybody will still go along with it. It won't matter what I tell you. It won't matter what the Constitution says. People will still go by it and everybody be okay with it. So, yeah, only reason I would say to Yeah, they're executive orders, and they're not constitutional because they're not adjudicated through the democratic process, or through the House, Congress, and the Senate. So there we go. If you know that, then yes, they're not any different. These things are the same thing, but they're going to have effects. They're going to have real world effects. See, that's what I'm saying. Let's not do this time, brothers, sisters. Some of you guys are going to be on my side on this like that. Not like on my side, like you have to choose sides here, but who cares if it's real or not? This national emergency, act like it is, because it's going to have real world effects. You know what I'm saying? It's going to. I don't care what people think. I think the Vidco was a kind of a soft thing for what they were coming to do with this whole event, where they're going to change over the tech, change over the monetary system, put everybody on this tokenized system with that same crap that Mr. Chump pulled by coming out with Chump coin. You know, that was insane. That's insane, as I told you, in the membrane. Insane in the membrane, the Chump coin, and then the that is over the top. So I'm done. So now get some chickens, eat some organic food. Well, you know, sit out here, help me build an outside place so when summer gets here, because we're in the high desert, we can cook outside, barbecue outside, and sit outside. And I don't want to use it, but I was talking to Kevin. I want to get one of those big freaking yeah, anybody thinks cover with the next national show. It's already, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The changes are happening already massively, guys. If you don't think that, there we go. That's what I'm saying. It's already, so you better, and I'm not trying to be sensational, you better get where you want to be. You better get where you want to be, and you better get all those flavors of ice cream that you like, and all these, you know what I'm saying? Get all your preps in place. Because one of these days, these lights are going to go out, guys. This whole net's going to go down, and they're going to bring up it's not permanent, but you better act like it could be. For nothing's permanent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to do their fake pit ritual. The final Trump. The opening of the pit. What do you think this whole thing has been about? Oh, no need for concern. Remember the machines that they have, their Hadron Colliders, brothers, sisters, they're very well prepared for this. They know what's going on. And the best thing that you could do, as I've said, is to don't participate in it. Separate yourself from the system. Cut yourself off from their big supply chains and take it back to your roots. Go back to organic, go back to the ways of old, go back to the things that have worked for hundreds, some of the things thousands of years. They've used these same remedies, same, tried and tested ways of the lost ways that our ancestors 3 generations ago, a man or a woman could walk into the wild and feed himself. Men can't feed themselves without a drive-through. A Checkers or a Rallies or a Hardee's or a In-N-Out or McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? So, your skill set is going to mean everything, brothers and sisters. Your skill set is going to mean everything. There we go. Root cellars and living off the land. Having a way to store your food out of the elements. That's right, lady in red. A way to store them out of the elements, like a chipmunk would put up a nut for the winter and, for a rainy day. That's not a bad way to go. I would invest in some of these too. I'm not joking with you. I'm not giving advice, but I think these will be more liquid. I think this will be more liquid. This right here. Cool, outstanding. You're a roofer, Lion? You're a roofer? I do roofing. I do build them all. These, I think, will be more valuable than gold and silver in a sense. You could buy 2 of these right now for the price of 1 ounce of silver. So Very important. I think that, get your water filtration, then food, then a way to protect your food, and then precious metals. Okay? Then God's money. We only call, you know what God's money is? I don't even have to tell you. Then God's money. Food, water, a way to protect them, and then God's money. Maybe some alcohol. I'm not saying to drink it. It's a good trade item. And beans. And the lead. Shaped lead and pointy shaped lead tends to trade very well, like dollars and cents too, during these times. Some extra oil, some extra cannabis oil might be very smart to take your oil when you have the chance, so you don't need to carry around large amounts of flour. You don't need to have a large amount of flour. You can just have a little bit of oil. Little oil goes a long way. Put a little oil in your lamp and, So nice, cool. So you do torch down and nice, cool. I've done PTO and old school. I'll do the old school, like rubber membrane, like pond liner line. I'm old school, 3-tab. Not even this 50-year. I used to deliver onto the, I get along. If you do construction, you'd be all right out here. You'd be fine. You can build your own place in a country minute. You'd be fine. Yep. The military industrial complex goes off of silver. Yep. First aid kits and medicine, yes, very valuable. Cool. Right on. So you know what I'm saying. Right on. Outstanding. And like I said, there's not a lot of that out here. Tin out here. Tin in the desert. Can you do tin roof? You like to do tin hot? Can you do Yeah, a go bag. Thank you, Kinetic. Yeah, we got our go bag. It's just probably even got my old bag. I got my bag in the military, like old school bag. Like, seriously, if you saw my bag, you'd laugh. You're like, are you serious, Tracy? I'm like, whatever. I go with what I carried. I go with what's familiar, man. That thing hurts, but I love wearing it. It's my old school. Yeah, so good stuff, guys. So this is the mentality again that I'm. So hear me out. What I've been talking with Kevin, and he's really on this, guys. Food source, guys. Listen, food source. You gotta have a meat source. You gotta have a meat source. You got to have your own source of meat. The hell with trading people for it. Have your own. Nice. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I got some of those too put up or whatever. So those frames, the bigger frames, some of those. But anyways, brothers, sisters, I think hopefully maybe this is far enough away. I was talking with Kevin about this. I want to tell you like I say, because they listen. You know what I'm saying? They're in here. You guys know that. Nice. Good stuff. Thank you. Lady in red. The bill that I wear is also specifically chosen so it can be used as a tourniquet any size. Good stuff. There we go. Making a tourniquet. Very important. Well, we're talking about having animals out here, and that I talked to Kevin about having a meat source for the sisters. I want this farm back up and running out here. And if we got to leave the food behind, we'll leave it behind. Oh, what? Oh, well, maybe we'll throw some. I'm going to look at this little trailer that I have. Maybe make it, I'll stuff an animal in there too. And take it out with stuff of the goats in the thing in the off-roader trailer that I'm going to try to tag behind if we got to get the flock out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? But he understands the importance too of having your own meat source. Having your own food source is going to be very important, brothers and sisters. Very soon, all these supply chain shortages, I don't want to be affected by them. You know what I'm saying? Please, this is important, guys. I talked to Kevin and he understands where I'm at with this. I'm not going to let up. 3 things that are going to be very important out here. I'm trying to prioritize things. Talked to him about a little bit disappointed about the loss of the money, and it's no big deal. We're both in agreement. It's the best thing for whoever they found it, and it's a good thing because it's not the end of the world, and I don't care. It's just funding, and it could have taken it for land, but it doesn't matter. I know Jesse, the gentleman that I've been paying this land on for 10 years, is not going to throw me off this land if something went down. And I'm saying he's not. He's a good dude, and I have good business rapport with him. Never missed a payment out here. And 10 years, I could buy another 100 acres from this acre. He would sell it to me in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So having these, that's what we started with, because I have a chicken coop out here already. It's a really nice coop that I put a lot of, I put some time that you guys have seen it. So the chickens got to come first, because I miss growing eggs, my own eggs, with growing my chickens, growing my eggs, having that protein source. And having, if even as I said to Kevin, he's like, I could eat 8 sources of eggs. He's like, I put so much money into that feed that I ate all my eggs all the time. And he said, I eat 8 eggs a day. Well, but hear me out, Line. He said that's what he said. He says a main source. But I had chickens out here too, and I couldn't, keep up with the eggs, and that's good, because then I could crack them and put them in the dog's food, and that's excellent source of protein. 1 or 2 of those in each of the dog's eggs. The cats, I'll mix it up in the cat's food. They love it, So, very important to have this meat source. And we talked about maybe getting a goat or 2, or maybe a sheep for now, just something out here. Now, listen, the other thing that's very important, where I talked to Kevin, is we need to get this underground geothermal garden up and running. And he has a tractor, so he's maybe looking at going back, and the best way to get the tractor from his property, because I need to finish digging out this tractor or this hole, and I need to put this geothermal garden in yesterday, a month ago, 6 months ago. But as soon as I can get this garden going up and going, all these plants, stocks, all this vegetation, you grow a couple extra tomato plants, like I said, I want this thing. It's probably going to be about 50 feet, 50 feet by 8 feet, underground geothermal garden, that I can grow whatever kind of, that's where this extra outstanding, Liam, outstanding, good stuff. Good to hear it. I hope that get that concordance soon. Good for you, man. That's so much better way to study. And just slow down, go see Brother Jim. Now you got the tools that you're going to need, and make sure you can try to get, to the rest of that, if you can get your lexicon. So thanks for letting us know. I appreciate that. It's always good to know that somebody's narrowed it down to a version where you could at least be studying it by definition. And that's how I recommend to study, is by one word at a time and relearn it, and by definition. Nice, you got the one that includes the straw. You do. Nice. Outstanding. So that's how you seal this deal up, is you go relax for a minute. Now you have good tools, and you can one word study, and you can go back and relearn with Brother Jim, as Lady in Red said, and come back here and just, it's just a better way to study. If you'll just slow down and not, when you're hungry for the word, man, you just want to snatch it all up. I remember, decades of just can't get enough of it. The word is addicting. It is to me. Oh no, thank you. All glory to the Most High, Lamb. We give all glory to Most High and to Shiloh for the understanding that we really need to not add to this book. This is what he said in Revelation. Do not add a jot or a tittle to this book. Don't take away, or I'll blot you out of that book. So we better have we better have the right book to be studying. If we're getting a watered down version of it, that's not going to help us come to the truth. So don't worry about overlearning too. Okay, Liam, just focus on the gospel. You'll find the gospel in the New Testament. Okay, really heavy focus on the New Testament. It's not that the Old Testament's not very important. It's the old law is very important to understand. This New Testament, you really should have a good base, but focus on the gospel. Don't celebrate. Don't do the traditions of men. Don't partake in these unfruitful works of darkness, things like these taxation and governments, as little as you can. Give unto Caesar what is unto Caesar, but there's less is more in this case. That's that neuter gender beast it system that you're going to be able to define out of that interlinear that you're not going to find in any other book. You're going to love that. You can find that it's neuter gender, meaning that it doesn't have a gender. It's not a man or a woman. It's an it. And that's where this scriptures come in the Greek in the New Testament. So you can actually look through Greek and see if it's feminine gender, male gender, or neuter gender. That's pretty neat, Dirk. Shiloh is my love. Shiloh is the one who will return and redeem his bride. Shiloh is the one who forever now holds the high priest, is the high priest to the church of the body of Christ. And he is the head and we are the body, because Father, under the Old Testament, the wages of sin was death. And if you want to stand before Father and go by the Old Testament, we've all sinned more than once, brothers and sisters. We are all hell-bound in that case. We are all done iniquity, So only through Shiloh, only through the walk in, through being disciple, only by suffering, through going through the walk in Christ daily, you know what I'm saying? Through warning. Yeah, we must be born from above daily, not again. Death to self is what we must die daily. To self is porneia, the Greek word, by these eyes. Die to idols, die to these things of this world, be set apart. That's why I've been telling you right now. Be in it, what we're talking about, but be not of it. This is not the time to be in their system. This is the time to be your own system, brothers and sisters. Nobody's going to tax you on tomatoes that you grew. Nuh-uh. The man can't get taxes on tomatoes that you trade with your neighbor. The government hates that. He said, do not sup with swine. Cast your pearls in the mud. Cast your pearls before swine. And that's pigs. Pig is swine. And that are people in government. Any of this governing body, brothers and sisters, all this nonsense that this corporation has become is not this constitutional republic. They didn't tax people. They threw tea in the harbor over 3%, brothers and sisters. 3%. 3%. And look at this now, net and gross. Remember, isn't it gross what you net? Isn't it net? And it's sickening. Taxed on. This is not what the founding, Constitution, the writers of these, I don't like to say fathers, but this is not what they envisioned. I'm sure people's grass growing too long was not having, because they didn't come and take care of that, getting a SWAT team sent to their house over too long of grass. It's ridiculous, brothers and sisters, how far this constitutional republic has been annihilated and been turned into a corporation for many years. More, it's since the 1800s, brothers and sisters, whether you understand it or not. So the division, that's belief that it's okay to partake in this, one who believes and one who doesn't, as I keep telling you to read Matthew 10:34 through 39, is this system. You cannot partake in the system where they're taxing people at the rate of monograph. Oh, I haven't seen Monograph. I haven't watched Monograph in a minute. He's a good blogger. He's been doing it for quite some time. Monograph from the side. So, but brothers, sisters, again, this is not the time to partake in this system. This is the time to be your own system. So I am appalled at my own doings, and a lot of it is my diet I'm appalled at. Is that I don't eat a much better diet, and that I don't raise my own food when I have the capability. I have the land to do it. It's not easy. I did it off grid. I did it by myself. So once Kevin showed up here, like I said, there's no excuse now. We're getting this thing going again. So I really would like to find, again, some like-minded people that don't have their head up their fourth point of contact, and that are willing to start, again, kind of from the ground up. And I'm just waiting for it to show up. It was only $38 besides the outstanding. Good stuff, Dirk. I love it. Water trailer. I got something I tote water with. I mean, I have water. We're gonna put a well in. I have a well drilling kit. We're doing this. Kevin and I were talking about, we want 2 to 3 sources out here. We're talking about backing them with these 1,500 gallon tanks. So we got to, so yeah, we just got to get this thing off the ground. I did it again. We have the ability here, so it can be whatever we want. What I really want is that's easy when you have 2 or 3 or 4 people, actually. And I don't mean easy, but it's just much easier to do when I did it by myself off grid and built it all up. Everything out here. I had to build all these kennels, all the pens, everything was done by hand too. I didn't do any of these things with tractors. This was done by the sweat of my, like I said, I have, I have calluses on my hands because I work hard, brothers, sisters, and it's winter. I ain't working half as hard as I could, but that's fine. I like a nice cruise control mode, so to speak. I don't get in a hurry. Like today, I told Kevin, I apologize, but I'm just getting back in the swing of things. I stopped building out here because I didn't want to keep building when I didn't have anybody to, I just didn't. I had too much, brothers and sisters. If you guys see me, I know Lady in Red seen me struggle with that. First, I missed because I thought maybe I needed a lady in my life or something, and just some companionship. And no, I didn't need that. I just needed somebody out here like Kevin, and I'd be inspired again. So now I'm inspired, as I said, to this list of things, of 50 things that I didn't get done from when I was building up out here. And it's on the market. Yeah, that 5-acre parcel is on the marketplace under Christmas Valley. It's under Christmas Valley. You'll see it. It's got Table Rock. It's 5 miles, or like it's I think 3.8 miles from the school. But what I'm saying again out here, brothers, sisters, is that this is something that is not that somebody can't do this, because I did it by myself. So again, I was talking with Kevin. This is something that we can accomplish. Him and myself, we can do this. Anybody else that comes out here is going to really make this add to what's here. And it's not going to be that awful tough. As I said, like that. Is just make sure we have like-minded people that can get along with each other, and not. And again, I talked to Kevin about that. We have to really be pretty serious, because one bad apple can upset the whole apple cart. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure it works. But if people are serious, there's plenty of land out here. There's plenty of space. Somebody could make it on their own. You know what I'm saying? An ATV. It may have something with the dunes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But hear me out. So Kevin knew that because Kevin has already had chickens. Kevin's already been on a farm. Kevin grew up farming. Kevin knows how to farm. Kevin's not a, you know, new to farming, so he'd be fine out here. And I'm not trying to be all like that, guys. I ain't trying to overdo it. But what I want is what I've talked to Kevin is that we need a water source, a source of fresh vegetables, and a source of meat. And that needs to be done like right away. You know what I'm saying? And that's my main focus. How do you look at these guys? They're all piled on they're trying to pile on the dog over here. He's trying to look here, and all the kitties are come laying on him. You don't know what to think. This is Panner, the Asher boy. You saying hi, girl? All right, and then we got Juniper girl. You want to say hi, Juniper? Want to say hi, pretty girl? Big doggy over here. He's laying on the... All right, so... hey, you guys, come on. Give the guy some space. Give the old man some space. Look at him just all comfortable laying on there. Got the kitty just come laying all up on him. Just laying. Look at that. Silly kids. And we got Mr. No, you need to keep your pants down. Put your paws down. Put your paw down. So, love the animals out here. Okay, but here's what I'm getting at, brothers and sisters, that I've told Kevin is that we don't, and I'm not trying to be sensational. Some of these things, they should have already been done. And it's okay. It doesn't matter, whatever gets done, and that's what I like about. Yeah, they're always here next to me. This guy, he's just sitting here laying on the puppies behind. Yeah, sure. He went potty in the wood box, so he got kicked out for a little bit. Oh, you just gonna lay on your brother there, you big old puppy brother? Don't knead on his butt. He's not gonna like if you knead on him. Look how shiny he is. That's what happens when you give him the lamb and rice. He's a good boy. Laying with his brother over there. Uh-oh. So, yeah, the animal huge out there, guys. By it being what for those peeps that the link didn't work for the switch to the horizontal stream, it will work. Everybody being blue, huh? So, but anyways, like Kevin's animals love it out here. They love the girls. They do good out here. It's a freaking paradise. It's an animal paradise. Kevin digs it. The energy out here, it's quiet. We're off the road far enough on this parcel. Even the parcel on but the main source, like I said, I want to act as if tomorrow, that everything could be shut down, and I don't have everything in play to do that yet. But I talked to Kevin and said, we need to get there, man. I said, I've done this already. You've done it. We definitely need to plan to get out of here if things aren't going to work at this location. We have mobility. We have the ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we need to have our own, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to have our own supply chain, Kevin. Let's not skimp on this. Let's get this going ASAP. You bought the land next to me. You got 20. I've got 20. We all consider this same thing. We talked about building the same fence line all the way down. It's not going to look any different. So this is something that has to happen. And so I'm going to continue to work on this daily. The other thing there's things that I wanted out here. I want a fence line out here, brothers, sisters. And I don't think it's the end of the world, but I do plan on them bringing these National Guard, whatever it is, to this property and wanting to ask questions and be stupid with me. And I don't play, homie, don't play that. Okay. I stand up for my right. What is it you're building for people to come, like a ministry source? Yeah, I've already have a ministry out here, Liam. This is High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. I was trying to build a homestead for many years. It didn't work, but I know in this time, everything's going to work exactly as Father wants it. I have Kevin here. If nobody else comes, Kevin and I can handle this. Kevin's a farmer. Kevin can split wood. Kevin can be told to work. Kevin could not had to be told to do anything. I can listen to Kevin. So we've worked, you know what I'm saying? We've worked so far really well together. So this is what I talked to him about, getting this ability to have this self-sufficiency and to have this supply of vegetables, fresh vegetables, because the fresh vegetables will help feed the livestock. You know what I'm saying? So I can't skimp on this. I have to make sure that every day I'm spending that I told him we need to work on this fence. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Yeah, there's so much to do out here. EB5, there's so much. Like I said, there's already an MX track out here, but there's so many things. But the main thing I want to focus on is getting this knocked out, because that's how I work and I do things. Like I get something like preparedness, you kind of get that the oh crap, and then you fix that oh crap by solving it with some kind of insurance, so you don't have the crap. You know what I'm saying? An oh crap. Oh crap. Well, I just fixed that oh crap. Oh, I don't feel oh crap anymore. You put some insurance on that and you move on. So that's what I'm kind of telling Kevin. And then you reap the benefits of it too. Because I'm seriously, brothers, sisters, I want to go down eating organic food that I've grown. And I'd love to have other brothers and sisters growing this food with me, raising this food, having the ability to have an abundance of time. Like I said, I talked to Kevin. I want to get one of those big, metal watering circle, waters, the metal ones, and build it up out of rocks and go get concrete and put a fire underneath it and heat up the water from underneath and have a hot tub out here. You wouldn't want to use it. I don't like hot tubs, but we definitely need something like that out here to underneath the stars. This is the largest dark sky sanctuary in the world, 2.5 million acres set apart out of the light belt. You know what I'm saying? So it's not good for my back because I can't do that. But I know people love that type of thing. And I want, me too, guys. My diet, I'm good. Everything, and I'm not perfect, but my diet is appalling. It really is. I can't believe it. I don't eat bad. I'm fit. Kevin is doing good. You can't imagine, Liam. 2.5 million acres set apart and protected from light pollution. So no more growth out here. They're limiting people from coming out here now. So it's on now. You better get your piece of land out here before I try to tell them. I told some of the older folks that have some years on me, what do you think about this word protected from light pollution? They said, they're not going to let more people come out here. I said, that's why I like talking to you. because I don't have to beat around the bush. You're 75 years old, and I don't have to ask you twice. You didn't hesitate. You knew exactly what I was thinking. So protected means restriction, brothers and sisters. So there's plenty, like I said, at this point, there's still land for sale out here, but it's increasing. So time to find a place where you can get away from. Narrow is the path that he said. Get out of the cities. Cities is where the broad. Notice all these big cities have a broad way. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you want out in the middle of nowhere and you just want to live off the grid, you can find parcels out here for $1,000 for an acre. So 20,000, 18 to 20,000 for a 20-acre parcel out in the middle of nowhere, not anywhere near a power pole. You know, I know of a lot over here that's probably under 30,000. That's about 40 acres from a power pole. Well, 20 acres. It's a 20-acre lot over from a power pole. And that's the closest one that I don't even know how that thing's still on the market. It's because nobody knows where it's at. Cool. Heck yeah. So, but all these things out here you can buy on like a land sale contract. There's places out here that'll sell you property for $400 or $500 down and under $250, something like that a month for a 10-acre parcel, maybe less than that, 20-acre parcel, somewhere like that. So there's the ability out, like I said, out here. Yep. So, and then you can do it out here, like what Duke is saying that out here you can build a skid. I build in tractor trailers, like this is a semi, but I don't care about that. I'm not doing that anymore. I don't care about codes or ordinance. I'm going to do whatever I want. Nobody's ever going to tell me what to do out here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People can't afford it. There's no way they couldn't afford to do it out here. You just have to have the will to do it. You have to have the drive. You can't take no for an answer. You have to get up and you have to be your own boss. So that's what it takes for somebody to work in a farming community. They have to be cool. Yeah. Duke could do fine out here. Connect do just fine, because that's like out here you can build some cabins out here and put it on your 20-acre parcel and rent them out for $125 to $150 a night all day long for a dry cabin. Have them poop in a composting toilet. Don't let them stay any more than 3 days. They can't set up anything and you'll be fine. Move them around. Have some different properties. They can't, like what Kevin and I got, we can bounce them from this property to that property, let them stay out here, and you don't have to do anything out here. I told Kevin I might even consider maybe reopening up this depending on yeah, well, you got to be your own boss, brothers and sisters, whether people realize it or not. I don't mean nice. There you go. So cabins are what we're lacking out here, brothers and sisters. There's the cabins at Summer Lake. If you look out here, there's the cowboy steak dinner. You guys, this is one of these diners, drive-ins, and dives that people drive from all across the United States. People have come from all over the world. Look at it. They do these massive steaks out here. It's out here in Silver Lake. I live in Silver Lake, Oregon. Look it up. It's called the Cowboy Dinner Tree. Okay. People come from all over to come out here. They have cabins. That place is rented out like 6 months in advance. We got the Summer Lake cabins. They have hot springs down there. So those things get rented out. Those are full blown cabins. You know what I'm saying? Cabin rentals alone out here is something that I'm starting to do. Um, and but I actually like Duke is saying, or like Kinetic is saying, I think it makes more sense to build the cabin, skid cabin, like he's saying, or just do something like this, what he's saying here, and sit on them and just make your money over time, or sell them. And at this point, I think just between me and you, Kinetic, for now, it's just makes more money to build them and sell them out, especially if they're custom cabins, like how I build them. You can do whatever you want. So I told everybody has their different style, but I'm not talking some cookie cutter, because they have plenty of those. They have two places that sell those out here. Those type of cabins. So there's nothing wrong, but people are looking for a custom one-off. I like to do it with, block and brick and masonry, and do things that are add. Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Something like that too is a big seller out here. A small cabin, and so you could either yeah, there we go. So you'd be, you know what I'm saying, out here. And maybe it's not. Maybe you know what I'm saying, maybe Connect, maybe it's like a shipping container with a bunch of windows, and it's modern. Everybody's going to have a different flavor. But what I'm saying is people don't want this run of the mill. So what's all places so like I said, that's what you can do out here. You could either build the skid, because we'll just call it a skid cabin. It could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever skid fits on a skid. I understand that tilts on a trailer. I know what you mean by skid cabin. You know, you can either sell it or sit on it. And somebody could do that out here. I'm not kidding. Somebody could come out here, buy a piece of property, get one to live in, and then rent a couple out and pay for your sin. Sit out here and do nothing but watch the stars and forget about this whole calendar, time, money, and get some rabbits and get some sheep, get a goat or two, and get some chickens, and just forget about all this stuff. Get a windmill, get a solar panel, and forget about it. Stop with the whole I need crap. You don't need anything. You need to eat good food, be around good people who love the word and who don't want to be a part of this system. And that's going to be the future. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the future in my studying. People who are self-sufficient, you know what I'm saying, who want time. Well, like I said, imagine hanging out with 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people randomly throughout the week, or maybe, every night. You could, if you had a good group of people, and sitting out under the stars and barbecuing I want to build a big, massive outdoor kitchen out here, totally covered, but outdoor, big enough that the appliances would be like around the center, of the kitchen, and do it more circular. You know what I'm saying? I want to build this big outdoor kitchen out here so we can sit out here and then just enjoy the summertime under cover enough so it has shade, because you're going to need some shade. There's no trees out here, but that's something that can definitely be planted. I talked to the Kevin about there too. Everyone, because we're right off the tree line. You come right off the tree line, we're right down into where this ocean bed. There's trees right up here off Table Rock. There's trees right off the edge of I'm right off the edge of the tree line, because I'm down in where the ocean bed was down in here. I'm down in this valley right off into the tree line. You come right all the thick forest right out into this open area. So out here into this tree line, but eventually I talked to Kevin, we could get trees from these farms that are growing out here, that grow out here, and get the start and plant those, as I was saying, because we have this big massive water from the pivot next door. It's just water that goes to waste. So we could use that water. And if we planted a bunch of trees, it'll help absorb all that water away from the road. So there's things that could be done out here to just make this place an absolute paradise. So there's already, just so you know, it's like used to do that at Chilliwack. That was the greatest time of my life. We're just sitting with others. Yep. Yep, there we go. Yeah, there we go. See what I'm saying, Liam? See what I'm saying? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm saying. To be able to do it, you don't have to do it every night, but you probably would. I tend up talking about the word no matter what. It's hard for me not to go speak of the word. I'll be talking about something and I'll go into the word. You know me, if you follow this channel, if you're a subscriber to this channel, uh, um, the Moto gods. Uh-oh. Duke's got a thing. Leah's got a thing for the, uh-oh. I think it's freaking the, he must be the Ricky Carmichael god or some one of these Bob Hanna. Do you pray to Bob? Are you a Bob Hanna god? Oh my goodness, I just told you how old my gods are, my Moto gods are, huh? Bob Hanna. Just kidding. Maybe got to laugh at a kinetic on that. I went there. I just said Bob Hanna. All right. Anyways, I'm old school. Get out of here. I've been watching motocross for a long time. You got to remember, I'm old. I grew up riding bikes. I could show you pictures of me on bikes since I was, but you know, brothers, sisters, it just, like I said, we could, I told we'd take a day to get the hell off this property and all of us go throw a fishing pole in the water, you know, or go up to a river, go for a hike into the woods. There's hundreds, you know, there's 100 lakes that dot the Cascades out here. You know, we've got Crater Lake right down the road from us. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things to do off this property too. The dunes that are out here. Uh, yeah, there we go. All right, we got him. Yeah, Ricky Carmichael, Jeff Ward. He said Jeff Ward. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. He used to bid to the. My dad used to take us. Man, you got to remember, I grew up where I grew up, so he would take us to the Supercross at the sports arena. Yeah, the Coliseum. You know, the LA Coliseum. Imagine seeing bikes at the Coliseum, huh? So, you'll do good out here. Yeah. So obviously, I grew up riding bikes because of where I grew up. Motorcycles, just that's why I ride that Valkyrie. I had that Valkyrie out here, and I got the guy out here. He rides bikes. You know, he rides hard. He's like, dude, you ride that freaking Valkyrie on the dirt like it's a freaking motorcycle, like it's a two-stroke. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I? He's like, dude, I would never ride a bike like that. I'm like, whatever, dude. I grew up riding motorcycles, dude. I can't. So you want to give it a ride? He's like, I can't ride that bike. That's too big for me. And he's taller than, he's got 3 or 4 inches on me. Nice. So yeah, I tried to give him a chance to ride the bike, whatever. And, I rode it back around and up and down on the, you know, it's a Valkyrie. You know, it's got bags on it. It's got a V6. So I love a big bike. I love a lot of horsepower. You know, I grew up, a motorcycle just becomes an extension of who you are, if you ask me. I don't ride outside my ability. I grew up riding bikes. So it's a nice bike. It really is a nice bike. I'm going to probably have to sell it after losing the cash that I lost, but that's okay. It's a nice bike. It's an easy bike to ride if you know how to ride. Most people probably couldn't handle, you know, that big bike. So cool. Good stuff. Yeah, it's a V6, right? Who would ever thought they'd put a V6 on a freaking 2 wheels, right? So it makes for a good, you know, like I said, it makes for a really good ride, though. Honestly, I mean, it makes for just a really, if you know how to ride, you have to be able to ride like a bag, or you have to be able to ride a big bike. You know, you can't, it's not a, you know, you'll drop it if you don't know how to ride. You'll drop this bike. That's why he saw me going around the corners and stuff. And he's like, dude, you're riding that thing like a dirt bike, dude. You know what I'm saying? He's like, in the dirt. How did you not lay that thing down? You were sitting there literally like going in the corner. I said, I grew up riding motorcycles, man. That's all I want is either in the ocean, wasn't whatever. I did lots of things, but I went in the ocean, skimboarding and surfing and boogie boarding, and I was out in the desert riding motorcycles, constantly on my. I just couldn't get me out of the water. He couldn't get me off my bike. You know what I'm saying? So, but so I just grew up. So, anyways, it's just to me, I just like having. I don't know. It's not. I don't consider a bike weight to me. It's not weight because it's wheels. I grew up riding, so I'm not. It's not like that. I grew up. But anyways, I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, so it's not like I am 6 foot tall. I'm not under 6 foot. I am 6 foot tall, so I can ride a bike like that. I can, ride any bike, but I would prefer a bike that has enough power. Where it'll get up and move, and I was talking to Kevin, you'll go 100 miles an hour on that bike and you don't feel like you're going 100. You feel like that's cruising speed on that bike. So you got to be careful on a bigger bike too. And we're not talking about, a little, some of those little crosses you can get up to real, but it makes it, 6 feet all right. So, but anyways, motorcycles are just an amazing time machine, as Kevin and I were talking about too, because they'll just totally take you out of the time that you're in, and you get on your bike and anybody's ridden knows you forget about the whole world. It's better than the cigarette. I even said, pardon my French, but I said it's better than sex. In a minute for that, and I'm not saying that that's not, but just, you forget about the world. It's a good way to, and it's very dangerous too, because you can find yourself going 100 miles an hour down the road, not thinking about anything. So, yeah. I'll let you back in. We'll take a bunny. We'll take a bite. Oh boy. So there you go. Good meditation. So like I said, I don't know how many chances I'm going to get to ride the bike. We'll see. I have a big list of things, and I don't know if that will be able to make time. Once I snap into one of these work modes, so to speak, I kind of get the mentality. I told that to Kevin too, and I'm not, I don't have to do anything. I like the mentality. He realizes that we don't really need to do anything out here other than make sure we're warm, fed, the land payments paid. He don't have to worry about that because his land's paid off or whatever. But everything's good out here. Not everything can go at cruise control speed. We don't need to go too fast. Not going to go too slow. But as long as I put in 4 or 5 hours worth of work a day now, I mean, it's winter months, so it's not like I have all the hours in the day to work, and I kind of got to wait for it to warm up and work in those prime hours of the day. But if I put in, again, it's a, self-made with zero income, how I do it, people, how do you do that? Well, I'm my own boss, so maybe I can get a motorcycle ride in, maybe I can't. I don't know. The boss will decide, I'm not, sometimes it's father who truly drives me to do the things that I do. And so now he's telling me to do this, like I said, through, the loss of that money. And then it's like, it's not a big deal. Focus on the land and go back to it again, go right back at it. If you get kicked off your horse, get back on your horse. If you get your teeth knocked out of your head, put your teeth back in your head and get back up and put your hands back up, and not literal, but fight again. It's just your teeth. You can put them back in your head, go back at it. You can make them beat the heartbeat out of you. Don't quit until your heart is not beat. Die hard. In life. So if you can be like that and you can be self-disciplined, Yeah, there you go. Have a good Leatherman or a good Gerber or something really important to have on your side too. Absolutely, Lady in Red. Uh, but yeah, this self sufficiency and getting back to where I'm not going to sit there and do anything else other than get this land prepared now and work back towards getting the whatever the money to pay it off. And but that's going to be second nature now. I'm inspired as I was for many years to be out here and build this up. Kevin's here, and we're going to make this place nice. Codex truly study the tool. I've got truly get the purest form of the word. Cool. Liam, thanks for coming in, Liam. Please definitely go over there and see Brother Jim Brown too. A real good study tool. Probably, I'm not saying better, because you should have a personal relationship. Don't set that book down and forget about it. But that's a good way to slow yourself down and help yourself relearn, and maybe find some good at it's Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries, because maybe that's how I do. I study Jim, and then he gives me something that I listen to, that I study off of, and I bounce off of something that his lesson, and then I learn off. That's how I like to study. That's how I find a lot of my, unless it's cool. So much agape. Thank you, Liam. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing that. You got that. Outstanding, man. If it went down, man, you got the tools that you need. Seriously, thanks for sharing that. What a blessing this ministry is, to know that others have found their way, Father, to the word through you, Father, you, Shiloh, and through this ministry. Many have now a much better, they don't have this watered down version, and can really sit down and know that they're getting, no changes by definition, lexicon, concordance, and interlinear, and you are on your way. Try to remember there's such things as idioms, cultures, customs, maps, and use all these things as well to help your study tools. And that's where Grace and Truth Ministries will help come in, and then this channel too. So thank you so much again, Father, for having Liam come in and testify that they were able to receive their interlinear Texas Receptus, and now they have not some watered down version of the word. So this is something, again, so these are all things, again, that I'm going to be working for. So the three major things that I talked with Kevin about was that I need to get this fence put up around this property. And we're going to enjoy it too, because I'm going to help build some of this fence. Like I said, I built that, whatever that little, what is it? That little general store front, that I built, what I'm saying? That's why, there we go. Keep sharing it. Keep spreading that light, Liam. Keep spreading that light. Hallelujah. Narrow is the way. Keep refining it, and you'll find him. Seeking you shall find. Asking you shall receive. Knock, and I will come sup with you. He's talking about what's in that book. Not a new job, a new car, a new house, a new wife. None of that. You got the tools. Hallelujah. Thanks for your testimony, Liam. Thanks for your tithe of time too, coming in, and appreciate. Next time you have some more time, thank you for spending a bunch here. Outstanding. So again, I better start wrapping this up here, brothers, sisters. I'm going to try to not be up here too late, and I want to try to get to bed here and get up again. It feels good, brothers, sisters. I'm inspired again to get this property again. I told kind of Kevin today, I'm like, hey, I don't know, I apologize. It was kind of just all over the place. I did like 5 different things today, at one time, but I have a large list of things that I kind of years ago, I kind of let go because I wasn't, wanting to build this place up anymore. I'd kind of, it just ran into a dead end where it wasn't being shared. And by myself, it was too much land, too much space to just enjoy by myself. So having Kevin out here and seeing him out here with the animals, and he's walking around, and his dogs are just out here. The dogs love, the girls love the boys love the girls. They're having a good time. The cat's over there. He's enjoying his space. It's been a blessing to have him here. So it's very inspiring to pick up and I've got new projects going obviously already. I'm always picking up, trying to do this woodshed, and well, I guess I'm picking up a project that I'd already left. So it's inspiring again, brothers, sisters, and it feels good. That's what I'm saying. I have that mode again where I really hope we can get some more people out here, because this is a blessing, and somebody could easily bounce off of this ministry here. I'm saying, come out here and get a place of their own out here, or stay here. It's like Kevin, he's got that place. There's more land out here. This is not the only pieces of property. There's other ones out here for sale. I've got a piece of property for sale. Like I said, I could walk somebody into that Bowen's property. I'm considering just going and building a cabin on it now during the spring and keeping it, because it's too valuable. The property is an absolute gem. It's one of the most beautiful properties in this valley to me. I love the property. I love where it sits in the valley. It's in an ultimate location, and it's got near perfect roads to it year round because of the parcel to where it sits, and one cabin, and I can pay one cabin rental a month. One or two cabin rentals a month could overpay, and so I think, I'm going to consider that too. If I can allot, maybe I'd have to really be serious about it. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird when I get in this time pinch, when, whatever, not like that. It's just, just have to budget my time. Maybe take 2 weeks, and I could build a cabin on that property where I know I could rent it out in 2 weeks. I could have something built. Now I'd have to work 8 hours a day, 2 weeks, and I'd be building something completely out of nothing. And I mean, I'd be milling all the material myself, sourcing everything, not going and buying anything like that. This would all be source material. I'd have to mill myself and figure out ways to make it work. But I could put a cabin in there in probably 2 weeks. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hold on to that and just sell the 5-acre parcel for now, and just try to keep that one in the ministry's pocket, so to speak. Because the only other thing that I was going to do is walk somebody into it and kind of let them take the parcel over. If they pay me half of what that I'd paid over the last 5 years or whatever into the payments, I'd walk them into my contract. Yeah, I still going to do that. I'm still working on that. That's what I'm saying. I'm still working on getting that done. That's not stopping. That's why I've been building. Going to have somebody come out and put the bumper on I bought a bumper for the other vehicle, but I'm going to sell this one and just go with the old one that I had, and just try to cash out of this one for now, and try to save up some more money to get the newer one, because there's so many more of those newer ones on the road than the older ones. So 10 to 1, 15 to 1, 20 to 1, at least. I'd say realistically 15, 20 to 1 on most days you're going to see to one of the older Tacomas, to one of these 05 to, I think they're 17 or something like that. They did for almost 12 years or something. They did that body style. So there's just a slew of parts for them, and there's so many more of them on the road. And when I'm going for something that I can have later, and I don't mean, remember apocalypse, that word, but something I could get more parts access to. I don't like the newer stuff, but I'd have to put an EMP shield on either one of these vehicles. So it makes more sense to step up into that newer model. I can get the E-Locker and the 4.0 in it, and I totally dig this 3.4. So this is going to be built for the mobile ministry specifically, like it's just going to go anywhere, do anything, as part of the ministry. So I've decided with the Forerunner, I'm just going to go back, build that for now, continue the build that I was already doing on it. And it's good running. It runs good today. I dragged the property. It did great. Doesn't heat up. Um, it's had work done to it, and so looking forward to that too. So never going to stop doing that. That's a daily thing that I constantly try to keep, in mind. And that's kind of like one of the things. Obviously, today I was having to put up the rest of the front of that building. I took all that scatter net off of that tractor semi trailer, which I use as a storage building or my garage, kind of all catch all so that I don't have all this stuff sitting outside. It keeps the property looking much cleaner having that here. But since I took the scatter netting off of it, I've had to build uh, this whole wall down the face. And that's another one of the part, I worked on that today for about an hour or so and got some more of those up. They're really tall boards and it's turning out really super nice. It's going to look super, super nice when it's done. But it's one of those things that I have to have done because, and Kevin really likes that too, is that this place out here, brothers and sisters, doesn't look like anything out here is new. And I like that Kevin is totally into that too. Meaning, somebody could roll up here and you can't tell what's here. It just looked like it's been here forever. Almost any building I build out here is going to have a look like it's been here for 100 years. That's the way I build. So that is the goal is now to get this fence up around this property and to keep this look, because I don't want it to look like a compound. So I talked to Kevin about, this today about some of the spacing and how we're going to build this up. And so I'm really looking forward to getting that done too, because that's a huge part of something I want done out here. And I think he agrees the importance of is I need multiple layers to be able to get into this property. So look forward to continue to work here. Going to have some work to do potentially down the road. I'm going to kind of put that on hold. Maybe I'll look for, somebody to come out here and maybe we'll put somebody else out in that property and they can build out something in the future. But, it's just every month I have to make the payment on it. So I need to start doing something with it and I can't just let it sit there and pay payments on it and not generate at least enough income to keep it self-sufficient. So I'm definitely going to doing that this next month. I'm going to put that on the list. Probably in the month of February is the month that I'll make my final decision, and we'll probably start that project out there and probably start dropping some material out there into that area either way. And I'll probably do like what I don't know if I'm going to build a skid building. I think I was going to build a permanent little cabin for that property, just a nice small cabin. That's probably just part of the property. It'll always be, if it sells with the property and I sell the property, I'll just sell it with the property. I won't try to take the building. I'll just leave it there. But I don't know if I want to do a skid building. Like I said, I've got a spot over on that property. I really think that I could put something on, but my major focus for now, again, is getting this fence up, getting this food source back in order. You know what I'm saying? That you get the farm up and then just cruise. You know what I'm saying? A water heater. I have on-demand hot water heaters. I don't use hot water heaters. I would use a propane. So there's, like I said, that's been my focus. So I'm going to continue back on that tomorrow. And like I said, it feels good, brothers and sisters, to be, kind of inspired again to get back into the swing of things. And you'll get to see all this come back into, because this was a farm. This was a functioning Silver Rock Ranch. Was a working farm out here at, one point, completely self-sufficient, completely off the grid. And I really enjoyed doing it. It was just a lot of work for one man to do. So Kevin is a hard worker. Yeah, no, I have on-demand hot water heaters. I have the, you know, propane fired. I gave one away to one of the ladies that's in town. Her hot water heater went out, and I gave her one. Uh, and I have another one or two. Actually, I have a couple more. You know, but yeah, like I said, what a blessing it is to have him here. It gives me no, that's how I do it now. That's how I do it. I heat it up on the stove and I pour buckets over my head. I go to the outdoor shower, you know, and I take showers, you know, out there. But that's how I do it. Whatever. I don't like to waste the water. If I had a lady here, you know, I have on-demand hot water heater out here. Eventually, I want to put one out there too. I've decided I think I'm going to stick one out there in the outdoor shower out there too. Just I want to. There's plenty of room out there, and it would be too easy to do. It really would. Um, yeah, so they're not super hard to do installs on. You know, ain't nothing dumber than a plumber. Oh, apologize if you're a plumber, but it's not a super complex deal. Like I said, I hooked this one up here in this stand up slate shower, but yeah, for now, Kevin's he don't take shower every day like me. You know, he don't need to, and he's been offered to use all the the stuff that we got here. So you'd have to send it to the PO box, to my PO box, the PO box 921. So, uh, but yeah, how inspiring! Thank you, Father, for sending a good partner with Kevin because he's worked out really well. Like I said, his animals are really working out well, and he's really into this understanding this theme. So we're going to continue to build this fence. It's going to take a while to get it done because this is a 40-acre front, you know, across the front of this property, but inspiring, and you guys get to see this kind of come to life. So um, excited to get a lot of this fencing in and up because it's going to be important to me to have this fencing up whenever this whatever event that takes place, which I don't think is going to be the end of the world, but I want multiple layers. I want multiple gates. Do you understand? And you'll see what I'm talking about as I build this. I'll build multiple levels. They'll have to come through multiple levels to get into this property, to get anywhere close to me, my animals, Kevin, or whoever else is here. And I'm not trying to build some kind of compound. You'll see as I'm building this. It'll be tasteful and yet it'll serve a purpose. You know what I'm saying? I have an idea on how I want to do this. So um, it's going to look good. You know, it's going to look good. I'm going to put a 4-foot rung down the bottom, put the fence up 6 feet, and then run another rung on the top of it. So there'll be, you know, a board running this way on top. There will be down. There are ones that will go down about every 12 feet, I think it is, that I have them spaced. And then at 4 feet is where all my fencing. I'll have vertical, you know, half log siding go all the way down this property. So it's going to look pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? It'll look good, look real uniform like everything I do out here. I make all that old material have some, you know, make it look like I'm a vet, so dress right dress, so to speak. I talked to Kevin about how we might work with the gap a little bit and play a little bit with this gap and just little things that I had some ideas. So like Kevin, he's like, again, he's easy to work with. He's easy to talk to. Um, so um, again, it's excited. I'm excited to get some more people out here, if that's so be it. You know, if the other people come, and if they don't, Kevin and I got this. We got this licked. You know, we're going to get this done. We're going to get this underground geothermal garden in. We're going to get chickens out here, and we're going to probably have that out here in the next couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Started, or at least the chicken coop. I'm going to be working on that tomorrow, trying to get that face on that too. I got a pretty big list, so I can't stay on here all night. Nice. Good stuff. MREs. Good stuff. I like having those every once in a while. So excited, like I said, to get this place built back up, and it'll be a fun place for people to come out, and I'm going to pull the hip campers up front here to the front of the property, because the hip camp used to go back where Kevin bought that property. So I'm going to get them up front here, and yeah, I want to get this property to where they can hip camp here, because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get a lot of hip campers. I've just got a feeling that this spring, as soon as this weather breaks, we're going to get a lot of hip campers out here. I bet you I'll get, 4 or 5 a month. For some reason, I think I'll get a fair amount of hip campers come out here. So I got to be thinking about that too. Got to get this property ready for that too. And because I like sharing the property. You know what I'm saying? That was a big thing about starting this hip camp up, is that people can come out here and enjoy this property that was out here by myself. So when people came and got to enjoy the property, it was really nice. So I'm excited about getting more hip camp out here. And if we put the cabins in here, I guarantee you that draw more hip campers to the area. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. People love this. People, and I think I have the number one hip camp. I have 2 hip camp sites in the area. It's Silver Rock Ranch, and the other one is High Desert Skyview. High Desert Skyview and Silver Rock Ranch are the hip camp sites. So I'm the number one hip camp site in the area, and I do love when people come out here and enjoy this property. So continuing to build that up, and as we build more of this fencing and stuff, it's just going to give this place more of appeal, guys. It really is. It's just gonna, and I'm not like that, because it's just gonna be all repurposed material. I'm not going to Home Depot to buy this stuff. I'm not, what I'm saying, I'm sourcing this stuff from a mill. These are mill ends, broken down buildings. So this is, like I said, this is something that I think this is going to be a great addition. The fencing will add a lot to this area. And then in between some of this fencing, again, I want to take a break, as I told Kevin, and build some of these little buildings in between some of the rungs. So some of them I might not actually put the fencing, vertical fencing. I might actually build a little building in that area in between on some of these. So you go down the fencing, there'll be a vertical building, and there might be a building or 2 or something like that. And then we'll work them throughout the thing. It's just going to be really neat feel out here. It is, what I'm saying? It'll just be very, you'd be like, again, and we're going to just continue on. It's going to be like, and I don't mean to go there like that, but very like an old Western town, like you're in an old Western town, like an old movie set, like an old movie set is what we got going out here. So super inspired, again, to continue on with what we're doing out here with this Western theme. And it's fun. It's fun. I enjoy with this theme. It's like being in an old, it's I don't feel like I'm in a modern world. It's much more, yeah, there you go, Annie. It's crazy how people are very opportunistic, and I don't want any of that. I want abundance. I want people to have extras out here, and I want extra time. Like I said, I can't wait to enjoy this outdoor kitchen this summer. We're going to have a blast out here. Even if it's just me and Kevin, we're going to have a blast out here. We're going to have a good time cooking and enjoying each other's company. And I'm sure there'll be another person or 2 come out here by summertime. Father will provide, and I don't, I'm not going to put no timeline on nothing, because I ain't in no hurry to do anything. All I have to do is endure to the end. All I have to do is die. I don't have anything to do. I have nothing on my bucket list to do. I have to endure the end. So I kind of have a bucket list. I did. I actually have something on my bucket list. And I finally put something on my bucket list again. I want to outlive every one of you. And I want to be the oldest person on this rock, still teaching the gospel. I want to be the last person, if Father so chooses to make me go through all more years, however many more years he keeps to just beats the snot out of me, but I still have an amazing life somehow. Um, in the mean of all the beatings, I find a way to find the silver lining in every single beating that he lashes me with all the things he does to me. But I didn't have, but I really I want to continue to find that inspiration daily to be the last one. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Teaching the gospel, teaching the gospel, the narrow way, brothers and sisters, not this other one. You know, you know what I'm saying? Not this other. You know what I'm saying? Uh, no, there's no. That's what I'm not talking about. I want to be the last one when there's nobody else here. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody here. You know, maybe it's just me, and I'll be loud. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to outdo you, brothers and sisters, but however, when Father's done with me is what I'm saying. If I'm the last one here and he keeps beating me and putting me through this, I want to be the last one here till he's ready um, and done with me. My death is not, no man can take my life until Father is ready to take my life. And then I will endure to the end, no matter what timeline he puts me on, 50, 100, I don't care what it is. Um, I don't think we have that kind of time, brothers and sisters, but I want to be uh, that man that can still teach this narrow way when it's not written in a book anymore, and all the books have burned or been taken away, because he wrote it on my heart that I can still share this light with others. That's inspiring. You know what I'm saying? That's inspiring to me, to be able to be the last man standing, if you will, teaching the gospel. We'll see. My day is already written, brothers and sisters. My day is already written. My death is already written. Everything in my life is not by chance. Nothing in my life makes any sense other than it's Father's hand, and it's Shiloh that's in my inspiration now. That's what inspires me, is this death, after this life after, to be with some of you that I'll never get to be with you in this flesh, but I will get to be with you as we're here now. I'll get to be with you in spirit. We will literally be together as one body, and we'll be with Father, and we'll be with Shiloh. That'll be such a beautiful time, brothers, sisters. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so beautiful. I so look forward to that day. That's my bucket list. You know what I'm saying? I only have to endure to the end because he said I have to do that. So I got to be the last man standing. But my bucket list is after I die. You know, like I said, the only thing, like I said, and it is, and I don't know. I don't think I'm ready. Maybe I'm not ready, but maybe if maybe someday if I met a lady again or something that I could equally yoke with, but I don't know. You know, it just doesn't. I spent so many years being single and happy, and that I don't, I think I'm back to that again. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm unhappy. I'm just saying, I like being, like, I don't mind being, you know, I don't know. Earlier, I was talking to Kevin, not like that. I was just talking to Kevin about, we were sitting here talking about how blessed people are. We were talking about our blessings, that we were thankful for the things, talking about all the things to be thankful for. And they were talking about it gets really cold out here, in the desert. And if you don't keep the fire going out here, how blessed people are to have somebody to lay next to at night. And I don't mean in a sexual way, because we talked about you can have somebody to lay next to and hate them and not even feel like they're in the same room. We kind of, this little conversation about this, but how much of a blessing it is to have somebody lay to at night. Like, the warmth of another person's body is so valuable. Is so valuable. You don't even understand how nice that is to have somebody lay next to. So I mentioned that in the stream yesterday, is if you have somebody in your life that inspires you, that you're very happy to lay next to at night, and you can enjoy the warmth, you know what I'm saying, of their body, that is such a blessing. And as we go into this cooler period for our son, that's what I'm saying. As I say, now that's a blessing. Because if you sleep alone, and I'm fine, I got covers. I've slept alone for many years. I'm saying nobody. I don't need somebody in my life to complete me. I'm complete without somebody. Somebody adds to who I am. Uh, uh, but that's very what Donald said. It's like it's near life saving to have a body next to you at night is man. That's so nice to have the warmth of somebody next to you. So if you have that in your life too, brothers, sisters, please don't ruin don't ruin that. You know what I'm saying? Don't and Father's gonna do it. But if you have a good thing, man, that's such a blessing to feel the warmth come off of somebody's body, and then for you to give your warmth to somebody else, because it truly is it's something that I think people just take for advantage, and forget about how blessed they are to have somebody nice and warm to lay next to at night. And heck, you got to kick the covers off. You lay next to me, I'm really warm. I'll, uh, well, kind of, you know what I'm saying, Donald? And we're okay without it. But man, when you put two warm bodies together, it really changes the game up. It does. It really does. So I think, thank you. That's a outstanding way to put it. It really is. Thank you, Donald. I think that's what I was meaning, and it's not, because we're complete without, but that's yeah, no, I mean, I know what you're saying. I think that's an excellent analogy. I think that's a beautiful analogy. It kind of completes that, you know, and you can, as long as you're close enough, you don't have to be spooning. You could be laying back to back, but if you're close enough together, and it always works, um, you know what I'm saying? It always works, even if you're back to back. I'm not saying, because sometimes you roll or one person sleeps one way or the other. Just don't, boy, if you can cuddle with each other and spoon together, boy, that warmth just becomes almost like what Donald's saying. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Is you become a circuit. And I'm saying more like that. I'm not saying that it doesn't work back to back, because you can stay warm. But I want to say more like what Donald was saying, is if you can lay next to each other and you're both laying in that position where you were, that position of two spoons laying in a drawer, you're spooning, the warmth is incredible. And it almost becomes like completing a circuit, and you can really stay super warm during a cold night. It's like so different having that warmth of that other person next to you. It's just like, come here and make me warm. And you're like, come here, mate. You guys just have the ability to, no sexual, no nothing. You're like out like a light because of the warmth of another body. So how cool is that? You know what I'm saying? Uh, if you're one of those people who are blessed enough to have that at night, don't you dare ruin that. If you got a good thing, you remember that at night. Maybe during the daytime things don't always work out. Don't go to bed mad at that warm body at night. Remember that. We all know that, right? You don't go to bed fighting with your partner, none of that. You guys figure it out, all that good stuff. Don't give me any relationship advice, Tracy. You don't have anybody to lay next to at night. You go to bed sleeping by yourself. Don't give me any advice. So, all right, enough of the Dr. Phil. So, we're good. Nice. You guys are doing awesome stuff, man. Yeah, no cold shoulder. You guys know that, what I'm saying, not all right. Really try to, I've really tried to make sure. I've tried so hard to make that a thing, because I knew that at a younger age. And I'm saying, to don't go to bed fighting with each other. Put it to rest before you go to bed. That's the person you got to lay next to, kind of, sort of speak. So, if it's that important, figure it out. If not, go to bed, hold each other, forget about it. If it's that important, you'll remember it in the morning, but don't go to bed, bringing that stuff. And a lot of people do, and they ruin that. What a good thing, you know what I'm saying? And then you get the cold shoulder, and then you never turn back over ever again. And then you're back to back. They wrote a country song, I think, about that, face the wall or something like that. But you guys are my warmth. So, seriously, thank you for being a very warm feeling in my life, and pulling me through some, this last 8 months has been an unreal time in my life. And but it doesn't by any ways put any surprise in my life, because Father just, he never He never disappoints. It's always, if it ain't something, it's something else. So who knows what he's got in store for me tomorrow or what the next day brings. But that's kind of the exciting thing about this life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pretty fun. That's pretty neat that you said that, Lady in Red too, because I was talking with Kevin about this same thing, and he said that they were somewhere uh, in some cabin, and he said that him and his girlfriend and his brother-in-law were in the cabin, and they all had to snuggle. And he said his brother-in-law was snuggling behind him, but he said he didn't care because, like you said, they were all adults, and he said that's how they stayed warm in that little cabin as they all three kind of spooned together. He said he spooned with his old lady and his that's how cool Kevin is to indulge something like that. You know what I'm saying? There we go. So you know what I'm saying, guys? They're nothing like that. It's the warmth, man. That's when I'm like, Kevin, that's what a cool dude to share a story. Thanks, Donald, too. You know what I'm saying? That's party. That's party. Whatever. I'm a veteran, so I understand that. But no pride. That's saying how cool was that for Kevin to share that story with me too. He's like, yeah, my step, he's like, brother-in-law, he snuggled up. We just made it through the night. It was a big deal. And he made a silly comment, to be honest with you. Kevin made a comment. I'm not going to make a comment here, but there wasn't nothing like that, and that's what's cool. Thank you, Lady in Red, for your comment, because it's a survival technique. If you ever find yourself in a situation, brothers and sisters, where it's cold, don't let pride come between you and, just make it through the night. And it's not that's not, and the warmth of another person's body can make the difference between life and death out there in the field, so to speak. So, yep, there we go. See what I'm saying? That's cool. Even if you guys, even if you don't even spoon, you're all under one base cover and you're all kind of in one bundle, even under one cover, three people putting out heat under the cover, even if you didn't, so to speak, even if you had to, I'm sure you get a lot warm. So good for people who don't have pride like that in a situation and are here for another day. They're not gonna let something, come between them and having a warm night. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff. You guys are hardcore people. I dig that. I think we're going to do well, brothers, sisters, in these coming days. If we get ourselves ready, the cream always rises to the top. Even the smallest seed in the garden is the mustard seed. It grows to be the largest. So just keep watering it. Keep coming back, Yeah, I don't let my dogs up in my bed because they're just too big, and I don't sleep with my dogs. It'd probably be a better, because I used to, but the dogs, I don't let them sleep with me anymore. So poor puppies, they have to sleep next to the wood stove. Underneath, I've got a spot for them. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for spending a bunch of time with me. I'm going to close her out and probably be back up pretty early in the morning, and we'll get out some more projects tomorrow. Get this fence started. I think I'm going to go try to get some more material from the mill tomorrow for the fence. So, thanks for spending your time with me, and we'll see you guys again on the next broadcast. Appreciate all the excellent comments tonight, everybody coming in and sharing these good ties of of preparedness, because this is a great time, guys, to get prepared. Again, the captain has not put on the fasten seatbelt sign yet, so use your time wisely right now. Not in a panic. Go get it. This is a good time to get it. Put a smile on your face if you can. If not, be serious. Don't draw any attention to you. Don't do anything too fast, okay, guys? Don't go too fast. You'll miss something. You know what I'm saying? So this is where in time, I think that he's separating the wheat from the chaff, if you will. These judgments are already here. So let's see your fruit. Now's the time to show your fruit, guys. Show your works. A lot of us have spent a lot of time preparing for these days. And I'm telling you guys, these are it. These are it. This is feeling very the Vidco 2.0. I don't care if it's real, this national emergency or not. This is going to really affect people, and I already see it. So be ready, because this is our moment to use the tools that we were given. And you should have already been building, so to speak, your ark. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate you guys, coming in and future is going to be self-sufficiency, brothers and sisters. Find a place where you can find a community of people who have a supply chain outside of this current supply chain, because that's going to be your key to survival. Supply chains, because if they shut the system down, you're going to have a different system already. Maybe you already deal with farmer in your local area. Maybe you come to my farm out here and you trade with me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I think this is going to come together. I really, really do, brothers and sisters. What Father has prepared for this place out here is going to come together. So I'm inspired. I know there will be people. I talked again about Kevin about it. I think we'll have a couple more people in the next month or two show up out here. I think they're going to be the right people. You know what I'm saying? I think they're going to be the right people. Father sent me Kevin, and he's a good fit out here. So I think others will show up, and we're going to enjoy what we got out here, guys. No stress. There's no reason to stress out here. There's nothing to stress about. I've got all these things going in my life legally, and you know what I'm saying, felonies. You think I care about any of that? Cruise control. This is a very nice, subtle speed out here. Nothing's pressing. So, we're going to continue to push forward here just one day at a time and enjoy the moments that we have. And, until this stuff gets shut down, please just, don't waste time, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste time. If you can, use it wisely. And even if you're not doing anything, enjoy the time that you're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Use that time and enjoy it wisely. And if you have the time to take a break, take a break. Don't go too slow either, though. I want to warn you that. Don't be dragging behind here. You don't have all the time in the world. Okay? That's the other thing, all right? Don't go too fast, but don't go too slow. So that's what I'm saying. Get up every day and give it some honest effort, and you'll be fine. We'll do fine, brothers and sisters. We'll do fine. If you've been chipping away and chip away and chip away a little bit, you look back, you're like, man, I did a whole lot more than I realized what I did. If you'll just do it honestly. And that's carrying your cross daily. So I don't think any one of you guys are going to have any issues with this, honestly. You repeat people, you know what I'm saying, that keep coming back day after day. I'm talking about taking your daily cross up. Then you can self-manage yourself, and you're good time managers. And then this time that's coming, we're going to really enjoy. When people are struggling, this is going to be our moment to really reach out and help others, brothers and sisters. I think Father has us preparing things that we have beyond or even comprehension. You know what I'm saying? I think I think the things that we're doing here are biblical right now, whether you realize what we're doing or not. It's biblical. I truly feel. I told you I don't feel like I'm a walking, living testament. Don't call myself Revelation for no reason. So, what a beautiful time to be a witness and to get our houses prepared to be meek, patient, kind, charitable, right? Loving. More than all, following his commandments, brothers and sisters. He commands you to put up extra oil. Those aren't bad investments. I'm not giving any investment, right? They're Jack and the giant beanstalk. But God's money is gold. Silver should outpace because of the ratio between the two metals. a little bit of both. Diversity's not bad. Uh, what? How much money does Warren Buffett in cash right now? I mean, if only reason I want to comment to get too far, you get me on an economic talk beanstalk there, but or Jack. Um, but if the dollar was going to crash, why is it? Is it Warren? I think it's Warren Buffett has how much money does he have in cash right now? I don't see a crash in the dollar like that, not yet. So you're going to need some cash to go buy up things like they always do in every collapse for pennies on the dollar. So you'll still need some because it's always going to be accepted. I don't think the dollar will ever die. It has very little purchasing power right now, but it still will out purchase any dollar. It is the stinkiest. Oh, wait. It's the cleanest piece of dirty laundry in the dirty laundry hamper. It has the strongest relative value in the basket, with the euro and all this. But things are changing. But I do think that that's not a bad, um, solid land is a great investment. Yeah. So, but I don't see this whole dollar, crash like people saying. I don't think the dollar will ever die in any of our lifetimes. I think it'll always be around. It'll just become worth less and less and less and used less and less and less. But during not a collapse, but we'll call it or a breakdown or a lockup of the system, this is how this is always done. There's more millionaires that were made during a million doesn't seem like anything now, but there were more millionaires made during the Great Depression than there, you know, yes, that's what I'm saying. He's got more money than the. So if that's what I'm saying. If you'll take that, I don't want to stay here too long, but just if that makes sense, because I love economics. I don't have money, but if you have some, you should probably try to use it wisely. Just don't throw it away in some casino type of thing, whatever. Get a good asset. Everything's going asset based. So that's what they're getting ready to do. Jack, go buy up all these assets. Look at the commercial real estate market collapsed, completely collapsed. You know what I'm saying? The housing market starting to, the automobile market, everything's coming down. So they know that. They're going to be here to front run and buy up all this other. Obviously, if you know enough about to ask a question like that, you're probably very aware with your answer what's going on here. They're getting ready for this. They're going to go buy all this commercial real estate up. They're going to buy all this housing tracts up. They're going to BlackRock and Berkshire. It's becoming quite obvious where this is going. So I think that precious metals are a great way to hedge your investment against inflation. It's not investment advice, but we'll just say that's monetary theory here or whatever. You're going to an asset base system here. They're using this digital system to sidetrack people towards a social credit scoring system. That's all this CBDC and all this blockchain technology is taking us and leading us towards a sesame credit, a social credit scoring, because that's what's leading to. So other than that, what did Ben Bernanke called it? A barbarous relic. So I don't know why I want to buy any gold. It's a barbarous relic, right? So it's always been money. It's never gone to zero in the last 8,000 years. There's been 4,000 paper currencies. The only ones that haven't gone to zero are the ones that are currently in circulation right now. Every other one of them's gone to its inherent value. You can wipe your fourth point of contact with it, wipe your bunghole with it. Could start to make purses out of it, like the Bolivar, like they were doing in Venezuela, where a $5 cheeseburger went from 5 Bolivar to, yeah, it's called social credit scoring. It started with Sesame Credit, Jack. So, very aware of how the social credit story, that all started just as a app. So that they did for fun over there. They're going to do the same thing at all continents are going to be under this system, or you're going to be out of the system like we've been talking about, invested in land, sheep, chickens, cows, goats, dogs, hogs, band-aids, water filters, precious metals, Second Amendment items, ways to protect it, lead shaped and pointy lead shaped items, things like that, rice, things like that. Just long term food storage, you'll be fine. You can ride this system out. That's what they're going to do. And then you'll be fine on the other side of this. Who knows? So, but the best thing you could do is not sit around and do nothing. Good for you to ask. That's a good question. So, and the one who gave the rock is gone. So, okay, guys, much love. Hey, somebody, you know me. I enjoy the economics. It's so crazy. It's so fluid right now. Yep. There we go, Jack. You see through it. You see through it. I see through it. You see, I can tell already. Hey, if you can make a buck on it right now, Jack, you know what I'm saying, on the next run up, go for it. Pull it out, take some pull profits, and buy some more precious metals with it. I know many people who did that, made a bunch and went and bought land, bought precious metals, paid off their land. Just make sure you pull enough money to pay your taxes. If you're going to make $1 million, make $2 million. If you're going to make enough to give them, and I ain't into that, but cover your butt when it comes to any of these digital things. Could get on this chump coin and there's chump Bitcoin, chump coin millionaires now. Who knows, so this next ride, hey, listen, all ships rise in a rising tide. So who knows what's going to go on with this crypto market, but I don't want nothing to do with it. Somebody bought me a Bitcoin, but it's in Cash App, so I don't care. Whatever. I'll look at it's there. I haven't spent it. It is what it is. So, all right. Hey, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up. You can do that. I need your tithe of a thumbs up. Why not? I don't know. I don't need it. I don't care what you do. Jimmy Crackcore. Do whatever you want. Your tithe of time is what I'd like to thank you for. Hopefully I didn't take any of it from you. And you gave it to this ministry willingly. And because you cannot print more time, and there's no central bank digital time. You can't get your digital time back. You understand? Thanks for your time, brothers and sisters. You are very valuable to me, beyond anything that I could ever purchase with gold or silver, with a Bitcoin, with anything. What we spend our time together here is priceless. You couldn't put the time that I spend here a value on it. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate you guys tithe the time. That is so valuable to me. It's nothing that precious metals could even buy. You can't buy the time. So I do appreciate that, guys, so much. You know how valuable that is to me. I don't know how to made it through this last year without you guys. Have been just an asset to this, to me and my own. I'm saying you're very valuable. I just feel I treasure this channel, and I thank Father for giving me this gift and all the bodies that I potentially will get to be with after I die. Again, what a beautiful thing this is, to sit here and all be together under one house. It's kind of like how it's going to be after we die, brothers and sisters. So what a blessing. It's a mirror channel of what the body of Christ is, those that do the will of the Father. So I love it. Thank you, Father, for this ministry. Thank you for the blessing of all the people who come back and the subscribers who come back frequently and give all their time here, because you guys could be on any other platform, any other YouTube channel, but many of you come back here day after day, week after week, month after month, and some of you now year after year. Blessings. Thank you so much, everybody. Love you. I'll see you again on the next Predestined for Light, former, now High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. Come back when you have some more time. Who knows about the notification thing, but don't waste any time. Seriously, brothers and sisters, don't. I hear a kitty out there. Don't waste any time. If you can help it, don't waste any time. Time is valuable. So use it wisely. Okay. All right, Pastor Revelation. Whoa.